Hello, 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 Aries. How you guys doing today? Welcome, welcome. So for those of you that are brand new, thank you for popping in and trying my channel out. I hope you enjoy this. I am an empath that does intuitive tarot as well as astrology and numerology. I mix the three because of the energies are pretty much the same if you look at all the aspects, but most of all I pull from the divine. You can call the divine, the Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit. You can call him Sacred One, Allah, Buddha, God, whatever your faith or your belief is. However, it is a higher power for our higher self. So let's get started for you guys. And for those that are returning and have subscribed, thank you so much for the support. As a growing channel, I just love what I do and hope it inspires. Now, for those of you that are new, you'll find my intuitive tarot different. So it is about inspiring, growing, guiding, and also touching where your challenges and your struggles are to help you grow in that. Because the first card I'm going to pick here on the oracles is the divine. The divine is more of the high energy, where to maybe you've been asking questions, maybe you don't know, what to do, which way to go. Maybe you've been asking for more focus, maybe how you're going to get through the day. Wow, all three at once? Is that three? No, that's four. Okay, so we pull the first three. And so those are the things that he's actually wanting you to work on. So that's the first card. That's divines. That's the high power, high energy, where we come from and what you have believe in. So second card out is the current energies for the 19th through the 25th of April. Can you believe it? We're also going to remember during that current energy card is that we're getting ready to go into the full moon. So the energies of that full moon are already going to be starting from probably about the 23rd. You'll be noticing probably energies changing a little bit because the full moon's on the 26th. About 3 days before, 3 days after, it really ramps up, full moon, and then it sort of starts to dissipate. Now, the full moon has a lot more power and energy in it than the new moon did. But if you didn't see the new moon video, I would suggest to go back and watch that because it's going to play into your reading as well. And you'll see some of those energies moving up. All right. So that's the current energy, the second card. And the future energy is the third oracle. And that is not only going to be for this coming weekend and the week, it's going to be for a couple of months, at least May and June, maybe July. So pay attention to all those. If you're taking notes, you want to focus in on the first two cards and just sort of process that third card. All right. So the first card, Divine's card, is the Goblin. And it's interesting because we had a lot of number 4s in Leos. This is the Goblin, the wounded human ego. How many of you guys feel like that some days? Like, screw you. Okay, but this is the number 4. This is about your balance. This is about your thought process. And the human the wounded human ego is pride. And a pride we got to sort of sometimes put aside. So if you're taking notes, he's going to want to probably work on some dark shadow work. And what I mean by dark shadow work is there's something that is holding you back from your opportunities, holding you back from your maybe potential future mate, holding you back. And a lot of that has to do with our trauma, PTSD, some of our past foundations or grounding. It's got distorted as a kid because somebody was feeding you crap, and it got in there, and it's like, okay, this is truth. It's not truth. So as I'll give you an example. So I was sexually abused as a kid. I was told I was fat. I was told I was ugly. And I began to believe those lies. And that stuck for many years until I could figure out, okay, that's not me. That's not who I am. And what happened to me does not define me. And so I did have to go through counseling for that. However, I got to be able to begin to retrain my brain. That is what this Goblin work does. It's retraining your thought process, retraining it from lies to absolute truth. Absolute truth is the divine. Absolute truth is love. Because if it's not in love, it's actually in fear. And what is fear? Okay? Fear is insecurities, jealousies, all that kind of stuff. You know, they're not in control. They got to have control, that kind of a thing. So this is something the divine, I don't know who this is for, but if you're taking notes, and that's part of it. Okay. The other word that it keeps downloading is pride. Pride, 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 pride. Keep saying pride, pride, pride. Okay, I said it. So somebody's full of pride. So yeah, and the pride actually holds you back. Because when you have pride, you for those of you that from, and now you got to remember, I'm talking from a spiritual aspect, not a secular aspect. Secular is earth, spiritual is second dimension, first dimension. I live in second dimension. Second dimension, pride gets you hold back. Pride makes you say that you're better than others. Pride says that you can do things better than others. You think better than others. Now that is excessive pride. We have to have a little bit of pride, which should be called joy, in our life when we do something that is good in our life. Okay, that is good pride. But when you go above and beyond, then you think you're better than everybody, you know better than everybody, you know everything better than everybody. That is stuff that will either get you spiraling down like the toilet, or you actually are going to get humbled, and then you may be able to turn around and go back up. But pride will hold you back. Okay, it's current energy. Okay, remember, this is also the current energy of the planets and the moon, and we're going from the new moon to the full moon, so there is some mixture of these energies, and that is the fiery fairy. Hey, that's Aries, fiery. But it is also creative and optimism. Okay, so this is the number 3, acknowledgement. Okay, I forgot, did I say this on this? This is the number 4, which is your foundation, your base, your stability, your grounding. Number 4 is all about that. Okay, number 3 is acknowledgement, acknowledging that maybe there is something that we have to work on. Everybody does have something, and if they don't, they're a liar. Hey, I got to plug in just a second here. I didn't realize I was that low on juice. So just know that everybody does have something to work on. Okay. So the fiery energy is the creative optimism. Now this is the current energy. This is also the energies of the planets. Because if you look at the new moon video and then we go into the full moon, they're talking about taking that negative, low vibrational, whatever you want to call it, like negative, low vibrational energy, frequency, whatever you want to call it, take that and lifting it up to a positive, high frequency, high vibration. That's what this is about. Optimism, bringing it up to joy, bringing it up to positiveness, bringing it up to a higher self, being self level, that kind of a thing. And this is acknowledging that you're not doing that, or if you are doing it, to bring it up again. Now, this might resonate with you, but they're saying that doesn't resonate with me, but somebody popped into your head. Share the video because it will help them. Because this is not to end with us. This is to actually go through us to help somebody else. All right. Now, the third energy is future energies, which I had told you that not only, and I got confirmation from some astrologers, which made me feel good, because about a month ago I said, something's coming up. There's something big coming up in the next 2-3 months, which would have been May or June or June and July. But I said, something's coming up. And so when the astrologers were talking about May and June, they said these energies are going to last for 2-3 months. So I was like, yes, I'm right on. I haven't lost it. So it is the serpent. The serpent is about the number 5, and things are a little unstable. Okay. And the reason why they're unstable is somebody's learning something new, and it's sort of like becoming a novice. So when you learn something new or something begins to manifest, like a new garden is very unstable until you start seeing those plants pop up. And you're like, is it growing? Am I going to have tomatoes? Am I going to have cucumbers? Am I going to have zucchini? Am I going to have the flowers? Because I can't see them, because you put seeds down there and they got to grow, and it takes time, right? We get so impatient, don't we? So you can't see it. So that is the thing to understand, that no matter you can't see it, there is something working below, which would be inside you, working inside, even though we can't see it, because the number 5 it's unstable, it's growing, you can't see it, you're not sure. But the serpent is about about knowledge and healing. Okay, so knowledge is earthly and wisdom is more spiritual. So people contradict, no, that's not true. Yes, it is. Because if you think of where wisdom comes from, it's a higher self, a higher non-seen energy, whereas knowledge comes from books. You can actually physically get evidence of knowledge because of history or whatever has gone on. But wisdom comes, where does that come from? It's like a child knowing things they shouldn't know when they're so tiny. So like these children that are prophets that know how to paint like Picasso and stuff. Where did they get that from? Or play Beethoven. Where did they get that from? That's not knowledge. That's wisdom. That is ancient wisdom passed on. So prophecy kind of a thing. However, with the divine, when I said thank you, for those of you that are brand new, if you hear me say thank you, I am acknowledging from beyond, whether the divine or whoever gave me the information. Thank you for saying that because they wanted me to share some information. I am respectful to them because, we want to be respectful to our ancestors and also the divine. So the serpent, what they want to say is look at the serpent, look at actually the snake if you're not snake phobia, but you look at it and what it is about the snake. You've heard me, if you've watched me before, you've heard me talk about this, is the snake sheds its skin. Okay, so when you're shedding, when it sheds its skin, it slithers out of it, it leaves it behind, and it moves on because now it has a new skin, a new body. So we have to let something behind go in order to go and move forward. These are the energies that are coming up, guys. I have so much to unpack, and I just can't because it's all here. But the thing is, the snake is letting go of the skin. He doesn't take it with him. He leaves it. Okay. And that's what's going on with somebody's inner work, is that they don't want to leave it behind. What good is it doing you? Okay. Need to stay optimistic. I don't need this anymore. I don't need them anymore. I don't want them anymore. I don't want that anymore because I have something new and exciting coming up. And the reason why is because we have optimism and we have creative action. Creative action could mean anything. All right. Creative action can mean for your work, could be for your hobby, could be for helping a person. It could be lifting another person up. It could be all kinds of things here. I do see somebody as a healer out there. I don't know who that is. I see somebody as, they talk about shadow healer. They talk about light worker, all that kind of stuff. But this is just a person that people are drawn to you for information. Be careful when you give advice, though. I give tools and tips. I don't give advice. People can do what they want with it. However, because if you give the wrong advice, it could actually hurt somebody. And so we don't want to give advice. Just give tools and tips. And you give your life experience, and if it works for possibly something for the future for somebody else, that's great. If it doesn't, then you just will have to be really mindful about that. All right. But as you go for to be a healer, because I see somebody being I don't know if they're a counselor or coach or if that's what they're studying to be. That's really, really good. So first card out is the Five of Pentacles. And we have the Chariot. So this shows me two things here. Someone has something really good that they're wanting to do or in the process of doing or in the process of thinking about getting it started. And this could be, I don't know what it is for you. It could be like when I began to lose weight, I was 215 pounds. I said, you know what, I got to get a trainer or I'm going to sabotage myself and I'm going to stop. It's sort of that energy. Like you've got something going, you might need some help with it, or you might have that energy and optimism to get it going. Like the train just starts to get to go a little bit and then it goes faster and faster and faster. That's what this energy is. And then we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So that the only thing with that is make sure that you have all your ducks in a row to keep it moving forward, because there's two energies here. Somebody is going to really make it happen and go. And the other person is sort of going to be hindrance. It's like it's a really good idea, but you just don't have the motivation to do that. That's where this shadow work needs to come in. You can do it. If you do your research, do your due diligence, get all your ducks in a row, you can do this. Because the reason why I think somebody doesn't want to move forward with it, because somebody else is manipulating them. But you know what? If you do that, then what about me? Or what about us? What are we going to do about us? Well, you know what? It just depends on the journey if that person's going to move along with you or stay back. So, like if you were talking about a relationship and, this is something you discussed between the two of you saying, hey, you know what? I have this job offer, but you know what? We got to move to Seattle. I'm in Oregon, got to move to Seattle. So this is something that needed to be discussed. We're not married yet, but what do you think? And, do we want to get to that point where we're going to be together and marry each other, blah, 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 or do we get separate and left behind? This is a time where that you have to become creative in how you communicate and ask how you want to communicate, not be fearful. This is to get rid of the fear. Okay, get rid of the fear, walk in the truth, be confident in what you want, be confident in what you need, so that that person doesn't feel left behind, but you make a decision together. Because sometimes it's better just to be friends and separate and be happy as friends than to try to fight and manipulate something together. And then you get to where you're going and it's like nothing works. And you know what? We should have never did this. And then you're not talking to each other, kind of a thing. So I don't know whose energy that is, but this is something that somebody is fearful of being left behind. So make sure you're communicating. I don't know why work came into this, but it also could be going off to school. You're young. If you're in school, you guys are so young. There's so much opportunity, and don't be stuck in a relationship so young that you lose the opportunity of the real person that's supposed to be meant for you. All right. I don't know if I should say that out loud, but that's what the divine shares. So it's like, okay, again, shed that skin. This is 2 months, 3 months. Shed the skin. Don't need to take the skin with you. Snakes, just leave it behind. I know if I was a kid, I used to do this. We used to live on some acreage, and we'd go down and we'd walk through the things, and I would see that skin, and I was like, "Ooh, that's so cool!" And I'd want to take it with me, and my friends would be, "Oh, cool!" And my mother would say, "What are you doing with that? That's nasty." I was a tomboy. Okay, I was a tomboy. All right. Yeah, definitely. Wheel of Fortune, King of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Oh, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. See, you're going to have some choices to make here. Definitely going to have some choices to make here. So the Wheel of Fortune is the opportunities of whatever you want to go, however you want to go, how you're going to make your decision, and how you're going to move about that decision is that book. And if you look at the Wheel of Fortune and look at all the corners, they have books. Okay, but that they're also, some of them are sitting on clouds. Spirit. So what is it? What kind of knowledge are you going to take with you as you go? Because if you take spirit with you, you'll be guided all the rest of your life. If you take knowledge, you're going to have to keep learning and learning. Well, you do have to keep learning with spirit anyway, because you're going to get awakening anyway. However, with that, you can choose possessions, which somebody will, because it's tempting. Thank you. So they're saying don't get distracted by gold. So I don't know who that's for. Don't get distracted by gold, because a lot of the times we do. It's like, oh, I really want that. Oh, it's a good price. Oh, I really want. And then you lose focus. Where's the devil card? Because he just threw you off where he wanted to. Temptations. He knows where your temptations are, where your distractions are. He knows where your Achilles heel is. He knows how to get you. So, and then we have the King of Cups, which is really interesting because you have the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups next to each other. And right before that, you had the Wheel of Fortune. So you've got Pentacles being earth and ground and the world, and you've got Cups being your heart, being more mind, but it also is your heart, and your heart is what everybody wants, and because that's very spiritual. Okay, so A lot of knowledge here. Somebody's very earth-based. This is where your goblin, where the divine is saying this is not a stable place to be. And that's right. A lot of knowledge showing here. Now, for somebody's heart, I get that you don't want to leave somebody behind. Nobody wants to leave anybody behind. Nobody wants to move on. This could be also, too, somebody, a student moving on to a new school, student moving away from parents. Could be an opportunity. Thank you. Somebody's attitude being negative. It's like, well, I hate that school. I don't want that school. I don't like that school. I don't want blah, 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 blah. That could be somebody's attitude right out of the chute, that you're going to just lose everything in the end because of the attitude, the thought process, the way things are. Again, you're going by everything that if it's like a school that you're trying to pick, or your parents are making you go to a school. This is hypothetical, guys. You can think this into a job as well. Oh, I got to take that job. I hate that job. I don't want to go do that job. Life is a process of spiritual process, a destiny of connecting the dots. You may not understand and see it, but you don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know what opportunity. You don't know what is going to maybe even change you. You go there and you think you're going to be going in for this, and then all of a sudden gears change, and it's like, wow, I didn't even know about that. Same with a job. Same with a relationship. I didn't know that about you. Okay? That is knowledge, earthly knowledge, fighting spiritual knowledge. Okay? So when you go into a relationship or you go into something new, you can't, again, we got that seed in the ground in the spring. We're in the spring solstice, right? Or the spring equinox. So we're actually not seeing the seed in the ground growing, making a foundation. Something's in the works, but we can't see it until it pops up. So that's what this is for somebody. Something is happening, but you can't see it. But you are so stuck in your ways, you're going to miss out. You got to do your inner work. And again, the planets and the moon are saying, take that negative. I feel like I should have a witch's pot. I'm not a witch, but a witch's pot, and I'm stirring it because that's the low vibration. That's the low energy sludge. And that's your negative thinking, and taking that and throwing it out, and then allowing that energy to rise. Make it go up. Think positive. That is the energies of the planets right now. You're going to start to feel that, because people that are going to get angry and bitter, resentful, you're going to want to go away from them. Because the positive powers of the planets and the moon, and not only that, with the vibrations and also of the divine, it's like, no, we want these things to go up. We want this energy to come high. We want your inner self to come high, your spiritual self, your higher self. We want these to go up. So you're going to start getting away from this negative stuff. It'll end. So maybe you'll all of a sudden just stop calling somebody one day. It's like, I can't deal with them anymore. I just can't deal with the drama. Have anybody like that in your life? Because you have your current energy is optimism. What is optimism? This is the planet energy as well. Optimism, positive, optimum prime. Anyway, isn't that his name? Isn't that his name? Okay, you got 2 death cards, 2 tens. Well, actually, you got a 10 and a 20. But you got 2 death cards. You got 2 cards ending back to back. Something really quick, and then there's going to be a judgment on how you were thinking. Negative thinking versus positive. Negative, positive. This is planets as well, guys. This is planets. All right? This is how it's working. Something's going to end really quick. Now, if you look at the death, or the the judgment card. If you look at the judgment card, it is the number 20, but it is also the number 2, which either brings things together or divides. So you can have made a poor choice. However, you can rectify that by going back and reconciliation, or ask for forgiveness, or whatever it is to bring that back together again. So whether something ended really, really quick for you, or for somebody else that it went to them and that ended for them. This is something that a decision had to be made, but it had to be made on a decision of who. Were you thinking in spirit or were you thinking in earth? Okay. So this is a processing. This is this human ego again. Somebody's got this human ego that ended something. Now, you could turn that around and change this to a positive, because the 10 is also a number 1. And on a judgment, if you turn it around and think more high vibrational, because we're looking at the serpent for future energies, this is a healing thing. This is something that you're shedding the old skin. I'm really sorry I did that. I'm really sorry I said that. I'm really sorry that happened. I should have never done that. Oh my gosh, I have a huge spider climbing down the wall. I hope it stops on the wall so I can smash it later. Sorry. These are wolf spiders. They're nasty. They bite. So these are nasty spiders. But it is spring here in Oregon, and we do have a lot of them. Anyway, so I just hope it crawls up in the corner so I can catch it. So we do want to make sure that we are shedding that old, okay, and bringing in something new. And it has to be higher vibrational. It has to be new. Now it's teasing me. Now it's just walking across my board that I use for teaching. Now it's just going off. I wish I could show it to you. I can handle things. I don't like spiders. I'll deal with them, but I'll kill them too. So I know some people love spiders, but you know what? These ones bite, and we can put them outside, but they'll crawl right back in. He stopped. So, okay, good. And plus, you know, I don't want to freak anybody out, but spiders crawl in your mouth at night when you're sleeping. All right, let's get back into the reading. Ugh, let him be. I know, Lisa, you're sitting there. Let him go, let him go, let him go. Go, spider, go. Anyway, all right, let's see here. Yeah, okay. So this is really beautiful. Look at this. Look at somebody has an opportunity to change their life. Somebody has an opportunity to change their thought process. And the reason why that they're going to change it is because the planets are going from a negative to a positive. Okay. We've been talking about that the whole time. Shedding the old to let the new in. Getting rid of the old, which is your past, to allow new open doors to move forward, upward, and focused, right? We've been talking about that. Now, it is your choice. So you can end something and make the choice and the decision, and you can actually have a very, very beautiful ending with pretty much everything that you want of your heart. Okay, things that your heart desires. Okay, so we want that, definitely. Trying to see what I want to do here. So we have the desires of the hearts. Okay, so let me show you this though. The King of Cups, he's a little bit kerfuffled right now. He's like, everything around him is a little bit messy. Everything around him, it doesn't make sense. It's not focused. However, he stays calm. That is spirit. That is divine. And what does he end up with? Desire. Thing about the cups is it's not only desires of your heart. This is desires of your soul. Your soul is your personality, your character. A lot of people don't realize that's what your soul is. You know, that is your spirit. That is your soul. That is who you are. And then our heart, the heart is actually a spirit, which is divine. So this is actually 100% where you could have that. However, it's going to depend on your choices. And you know what? We all need shadow work. We all need to do that. And if you say that you don't, if you say that you don't need to do shadow work, then you're just lying to yourself, because everybody needs healing in something or another. Whether you have an insecurity, you know, even men and women, when they're dating, there's the insecurities. Why do you think that it's if you're, yeah, thank you. So why do you think when you go on new dates and things like that, or you meet somebody new, you get all creative, you all dress up, you all look nice, you act your best, you're on your behavior, you put those peacock feathers out and you just strut and, hi, this is me, and he's doing the same, this is me, and blah blah blah, whatever you do. But why do you do that? Because there's some insecurities in there that we want to be liked and loved, because that's the number one thing that every single person wants, is to be loved. So why do we do that? Because we're insecure. And why are we insecure? Because somewhere down the line, somebody probably fed us a line of crap that wasn't true, and we believed it because we were so worldly at that point. Okay? And if you aren't worldly, then you would say, you know what? I am who I am, and if you don't like this, I'm really sorry. I'm going to change, but this is who I am. Can you accept me where I am at this point? Maybe I'll change and grow. Of course I will. But the thing is, do you like me, or, at this point where I am in my life? That's why it's really, really important when you date is to be yourself. Because why fake it, waste people's time, and then be somebody that you're not in the future? And they're like, gosh, what happened to you? This isn't the person I met. All right. So I don't know who that was for, but there is a lot of healing process going on. What is your healing that needs to be done for these next couple of months? What is your healing, or who can you help heal? This is about a time to have some creative, optimistic action. This is time to really think positive, as the planets say. For those of you that don't believe in positive, bring yourself to a higher vibration, higher energy, higher source, bring to your higher spiritual self, that kind of a thing. All right. So let me get these moon and planet energies here and see what they have to say before I let you guys go, since there's no questions. Yeah, making a choice. This is a choice. This is a choice to shed your skin, move forward, leave the skin behind. Or when you move forward, what pride are you going to leave behind? And are you going to get to the point where, you know what, I'm no better than anybody else? Now, if you get to that point in life, you are elevating, because nobody is better than anybody else. But if you think, oh, well, yeah, they don't have that, and you're looking down your nose, and it's like, yeah, whatever. You know how to tell if you are healed in that sense? What do you think about a homeless person? Do you think you're better than a homeless person? Do you think you deserve more than a homeless person? Have you ever talked to a homeless person? You find that a lot of people got down and on their luck, and something happened and they ended up there. It wasn't their choice. And then when you are in a spiral down, how do you get out of that if you have no resources? These are things that you can ask yourself to humble yourself. Walk down in a homeless area. Go to a children's hospital. Why do they have cancer? You think you're better than them, that they got cancer and you didn't? Those kind of things. These are things that actually are spiritual, not knowledge. It's wisdom to bring yourself to that higher level. All right. So that's your reading, you guys. What a reading. There's so much in there. My daughter always asks me, well, what did Cancer say? I don't remember these when I'm done, because there's so much. I really don't. I have to go back and look at them, because there's so much packed into each one. And usually I try to get a focus in on one, but then he's got so many downloads coming on so many people, because there's so many people out in the world. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget there is a full moon reading on the 26th. I don't know because of my knee. Like right now, I'm going to do one more reading for the day, but I have to get up for a few minutes because my knee. For those of you that don't know, I had a knee replacement, and so I'm still healing. So I got to get up and walk around between readings a little bit. So I will come back and do one more reading today. So if you want to watch, you're very welcome to. Please subscribe, hit the bell. and you'll notice when I'm back on. Same with the full moon reading. You'll hit the bell and you'll notice when I'm on there. I will probably post a thumbnail, but I don't know when. Probably on the 24th or 25th. So do hit that. Also invite your friends. If this did not resonate with you, don't hesitate to share it with somebody you've thought of while you were watching this, because it probably is the divine telling you, hey, this person might be able to use this tool or tip or whatever, and share it with them. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. It is beautiful in the 80s in Oregon. This is very rare for us at this time of the season. I hope wherever you are safe, healthy, and joyful. And I will see you on the 26th. Don't forget to walk in absolute truth and love. Take care.